podcasting to the universe from Metro Boston, Massachusetts, USA. We are PNR Networks.
Cavebabble. Hello and welcome to Cavebabble episode 99. This week's episode, Our Freaky Phobias. This episode is brought to you by Facing Fears. Hello everyone, I'm Eric.
I'm Courtney.
I'm Amber.
I'm Valerie.
And we are...
Ready to face our fears.
I just had a total mind blank. And we are...
Oh, wait.
The girls just spent the last 3.5 minutes making sound effects, which I may or may not add to the end to this podcast. Oh my goodness. So what in the world do we do? Oh, first of all, I have to say, how is everyone today?
I'm good.
You doing okay? Did you have a nice week? You're
Yep.
kind of sicky, huh?
I've been sick almost this entire week.
Yep, good old allergies.
Allergies. Lello.
Lello, the color of allergies.
Lello is the color of allergies. Just remember
Yeah.
that. There's a callback to our RuneScape episode, which the girls are playing again of all things.
I'm not playing
And
too much. I'm
Bring
kind of...
our podcast.
Wow. As a matter of fact, Courtney's doing it right now, you little shiitake mushroom.
I'm playing with Bear's foot.
I didn't think I would get into it again, yet here I am.
This week, we are facing our phobias and also sharing a bunch of different teams from last week's episode. People liked it, I guess. Yeah.
Cool. It got them thinking.
Yeah, it was our zombie apocalypse team from films and games, and we have several to share. We have some email, 2 or 3 emails to go through, stuff from Facebook, and we'll get to all that. But first of all, how did we get on this? Phobias. What in the world are we talking about here?
Are you wanting me to explain?
Yeah. How did we get into this, Amber? Go for it.
All right. Okay, I was on Facebook, and Russell had posted that it was Earth Hour.
Our friend Russell, by the way, that's OFR, I guess.
Oh, our friend.
Oh,
I call him
how do you
our
spell
friend.
Russell with an O?
I call him our friend Russell, and I capitalize it every time now, and so it says OFR. Go ahead.
But yeah, he had posted something about the Earth Hour, and I looked it up, and it was at 8:30.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Last
like, okay.
Saturday.
Yep. I'm like, okay, well, we can do that. And I went up and I shared it with you guys, and Mom was like, yeah.
Well, what's Earth Hour? Explain it.
It is whenever at 8:30.
In the
It
evening.
was 8:30. You turn off all the lights and power, basically for
Everything electronic.
Yeah,
that
for an
doesn't need
hour.
batteries.
in order to help. What would it be? Reduce electricity, something or other.
Yeah,
or
just to
whatever.
kind of show solidarity for saving, energy conservancy and all of that. And it's
Yep.
kind of fun. So we did. So we took part in it, and I brought the recorder in, and...
We roasted marshmallows over briquettes in the fireplace.
Because we didn't have any firewood.
And what's cool about Earth Hour is it was observed worldwide, because it was real funny when we posted that we had just got through doing our part with Earth Hour and sitting for an hour with the electricity off, that one of my Facebook neighbors from Australia said, oh yeah, we did that, yesterday too, because, they are half a day ahead of us.
Right.
So they did it. So everybody, who participated did it at 8:30 p.m. their time. So it's
like
kind of cool.
So it's like a series of rolling blackouts across the whole planet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was, huh?
Yeah.
I
Very
would like
cool.
to see it from satellite view.
Well, we did it
Yeah.
because we thought it would be fun. We've done it before.
Mm-hmm.
But I went ahead and brought in the recorder, which has a battery in it, so it wasn't plugged in,
Mm-hmm.
and recorded us as we're sitting there chatting. And of course, as soon as the lights go out and you have nothing else going on, what do you start talking about? Ghosts, of course, and freaky
because
things.
it's dark and
Because that's what
You're
you
sitting
do.
around a campfire.
Yeah, the lovely glowing campfire of briquettes. it's like standing around your barbecue telling
Well,
ghost
it's too
stories.
cold to go outside and get firewood in like the backyard.
Yeah, it was. It snowed that day.
Mm-hmm.
So I have all this audio, which we talk about some freaky things, stuff that we would not want to see it right about then when it was really dark. And we talk about stuff that scares us around the house and a few of our phobias and fears. And I thought, that would tie right into this episode. I'll insert some of the things we said last week to this discussion. So we'll kind of go back and forth to from what we recorded last week to what we're recording right now, which is some of our phobias that we have in real life that show up in films, which in my case makes it really difficult for me to watch the movie in certain cases. And I don't know, do you guys have that same effect? It probably doesn't.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
For me, you know mine does.
Yeah, exactly. I know that at least in your case, Courtney, you can't even watch the screen when it's...
No, I have to look away completely and then cower between my fingers.
And in my case, I have to pretty much do the same. I don't watch certain sections of the film.
Mm-hmm. I might watch it, but it makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't think it's something I can't watch, but it's, something I
mine
prefer.
is.
Yeah.
Yep, yours is. Mm-hmm.
So we will just kind of do this round robin style and go ahead and mix it up with what we recorded last week, and we hope you enjoy what you hear. Go ahead, start us off, Courtney. What's yours?
I don't know how to explain mine.
We never do.
We have.
I never know how to explain mine. I want to say it's a large, like overly large object coming usually directly at me.
That's an OLO, by the way.
Overly large object.
Yes, an overly large object.
Usually it's that, but it could be just like, I don't know, turning around the corner and boom, there's another large object. It could be standing still, so I have no idea how
Underwater looking at a submarine coming at you?
Yeah, kind of like that, or underwater seeing a whale, but it's,
Just there.
I think it's
Just
kind of
there.
like it's leering over you or coming. It's like it's overpowering or something. I don't know what it is.
No.
I mean, I know what the scenes you're talking about, and I know what's going to freak you when we're in a game or something. I can tell those moments.
But
And-
like in the movie City of Lost Children,
Yes.
there's a scene where there's this metal, slightly rusty boat comes out of the fog, or I don't even know if it's out of the. I think it's out of the fog.
Yeah, it's out of the fog.
And it comes straight towards you, but it's a very, very tall boat, and it's huge. And
Right.
I'm like, oh god! So I could not watch that entire scene until it was smashed into the port.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Yeah.
you turned away because we just watched this last week, and and you were, you literally could not watch the screen during that
Could
section.
not. I had to turn around and bury my face in the back of the couch.
Mm-hmm. And that's a perfect example of it's like a large object that suddenly appears.
Mm-hmm.
And
And then there's another thing. It's for Ghost Recon, the game Ghost Recon. We downloaded a couple expansion packs, and in one of those packs, there's this level that usually it spawns you on this little island or something. I
Right.
don't know. I was spawned on the island,
And it's all
and then
frozen.
I looked at my map, and there's this little house on the island, but for the rest of the screen, there's basically water and then one giant boat. I was just thinking, oh, okay, that's a small boat or something. I'd just go over to it. Problem was, everything was foggy, and as soon as I started, basically swimming towards it, I saw the outline of that boat. That boat was huge. Oh my god, I had to turn around quickly, and I whined.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
stayed in the house.
Yeah, it's like a
I whined
tanker.
and walked
It's
back
a
to the house.
huge tanker, and I believe everything is frozen out there. I think
Yep.
it's on ice.
Yep.
And
Oh, that's right, not swimming, it's ice.
yeah, I
Sorry.
think it's an ice level,
Moose.
Moose.
but it definitely comes out of the mist, and it is huge. And yeah, I can definitely
Yep.
see how that freaked you out. Oh, that's right, because you hid inside that.
She hid in the house, and I shot a grenade up into the window and got her. And then she spawned staring at the boat.
That's right.
No, not staring at the boat. I
You turned
was
around.
in the boat. No, I was in the
Oh,
boat.
that's right. You were in the
He
boat.
spawned me in the boat, and it was on the bottom of the boat, which I had almost a hard time walking around because for some odd reason I couldn't deal with the metal walls near me. It was almost and
Before it was
there's this
freaking out
one-
the entire time.
there's this one section where I turned around, then you could go down. There's this giant generator. I could not go down there. I could not even look down that staircase. Like when I walked near it, I kind of shuddered and then just didn't even look that direction and turned around opposite and kind of did this crab walk around it.
It was
not
pretty
look
funny
down there.
because you were an easy target that level. It was like,
Yeah.
I left it. I seriously
Just
just
look for the
walked
thing
away from
cowering
it
in a
and
corner.
Stood next to Dad downstairs, like.
yuck.
And
Yeah, I
every time
remember
you
that.
looked towards the boat, I had to look away.
There's a moment kind of like that actually gets to me too, and that's in the Lost World, the second Jurassic Park movie, where the ship is out of control. They're bringing the dinosaur back to San Diego, and it's all foggy, and the ship is coming in too fast because everyone's dead on board, and they don't realize it, but everyone's dead on board, and this thing is. They hear it coming out of the mist, and the guy goes and it's like he's standing outside a railing on the dock on like this observation tower, and you just hear this thing coming through the water, and then all of a sudden the prow of the ship comes through the fog toward the dock. And it's just like City of Lost Children. But for some reason, that one gets to me. It's like, that's
And for
creepy.
some reason, it does, but not as much as City of Lost Children.
That's so funny. It's just totally different. I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes I just really don't know how to explain it exactly.
I think a movie that would probably really exemplify her phobia too is which movie is it? Is it Star Wars, where the big ship comes from behind you, or does it have to come from in front of you? Because there's that
well, it
opening
depends.
scene to that movie where the big ship
It
just
depends on whether I'm the person there.
It's kind of
Okay.
like looking up at it, because when I built that big pyramid shape in Minecraft just to freak you out and tried to get you to go over there and stand underneath it, and you wouldn't do it. You're like, no,
I can't even go near it.
no, you can't go near it. It looms over you. I think it's the thought
I
of it.
don't know. I don't know, because when if it was a giant alien spaceship that kind of like flat and you can see it coming over, I wouldn't be scared.
Okay.
I would stare at like, oh, dude, that's kind of cool.
Okay, that's cool.
I think you're freaked by whales. I think it's whales. That's what it
He's
is.
the
It's
weirdest
whales.
phobia ever.
Think of a big blue whale as you're in the water.
Right, it would.
It would totally
would.
freak you out. It would freak me out. What are you talking about? I
I
think
want to
that's
hug it.
weird. Okay, well, that's a good one.
Listening to our little campsite.
I'm telling you, this would be the coolest scary movie ever, though. It like starts out with people celebrating just like the Earth Hour thing, and then it'll end up being like on the Earth Hour because everyone had their stuff out. It meant like something was able to show up, and they're like,
Earth
Lights-
Hour.
lights
It's the name
scare
of the
them.
movie, Earth Hour.
And lights scare them.
and then trees attack people.
Earth Hour. You're sitting here with the lights off, and all of a sudden we start seeing bobbing lights coming through our.
It's the
And we
aliens
realize
phasing in and out of our.
it's somebody
dimension.
carrying a flashlight through our woods.
That would
I want to
actually.
cook one of these.
And then
If that actually happened, I would freak out.
and I know exactly. So would I.
No,
And
you know what
then
would really
If
freak
we saw
out?
some random guy going through our woods with a flashlight and a hatchet, I would be.
Yeah. And then he's
Scared,
running
But
towards
like
us.
a Bigfoot thing walks
Yeah.
past.
Oh God, he walks right across there and doesn't see us.
Yeah.
You know what would be freakier?
And he has like this. He looks kind of like Jason, has like this mask on.
Or if someone came walking down the hill this direction with a flashlight and they didn't like they were looking around for something, they walked through the fence, like didn't even like stop
Oh
from it.
God,
Just
yeah.
went
if
through
they
it.
just walked right
like,
through
phased
the
through
fence
it.
like it's a ghost.
Yeah.
See, for me, it would be far freakier if it was a tall, Bigfoot-looking thing. That would freak me out.
Yeah.
Like right up, like to the fence, and was looking over the
Like
fence,
that.
and then turned and walked down through the woods.
That's
That
whole
would
life.
just
sniffing
be
my
like,
foot.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what really sucked, Court? Like you look away from the window for a little bit, and then you look back, and someone's face is pressed up against it.
I have those moments at all times. Everybody have no idea.
I do.
No, what would really freak me is like you look out there and then you see like this slightly fuzzy figure of like a normal person, but it's brighter than usual, and it walks through the fence, like you said, phases through the fence, and as soon as it gets like halfway from here to the door, it disappears. And it's like, ah. And
The
it appears
water
right.
things.
It appears right next to you, Amber. Oh.
the water things, Court,
Which
on
water things?
Amnesia.
Oh.
And
It's
you
like,
walk,
no, stop right there. Stop right there.
and then you move a little bit, and it follows you and just
it does
waits.
follow you.
Oh,
And as soon as you hop
God.
somewhere else, or as soon as you start running, it starts sprinting towards you. It's like, oh god. Or you step through the doorway and it just says run in the middle of your screen. It's like, what?
Oh God.
Or that weird zombie thing that comes behind you. He was like, what? Run from what? And he turns around and there it is. And it kills him. It's like, oh.
Oh, and then or if you're out camping, you're in your tent, and you hear in the middle of the night things crashing through the woods, something coming through the woods, and then you hear heavy breathing outside your tent.
And then it stops.
And then
And it stops. It's like right there, and then
That
it
happened.
stops.
it happens like right behind your ear.
That
and then it
happened
stops.
to us one time. We were, when I lived in Southern California, a group of us went to this mountaintop with, because we were there was some astrological thing going on, a big meteor shower.
Aliens were coming.
And we pitched our tents, and after we'd done our stargazing, got into our tents and heard exactly that, rustling outside, and then, breathe, like snorting,
It sounded
breathing,
like breathing.
and we looked, it was horses. We had
Oh.
pitched our tents in the middle of a horse pasture. We didn't even know it.
That's cute.
What about you, Amber? What do you have? Anything?
I don't know.
Come on, you have to be scared of something.
I am, but it's like usually I'm just like I don't know
Little
how to.
things. Random.
Yeah,
Here,
it's like
can I
something in
ask
that
you-
case it would be scary, but then in any other case it wouldn't, kind of stuff. Like I don't really have any huge, other than spiders, of course.
Yeah,
There you
I
go.
hate spiders. Have you
Because
seen
then
it?
spider movies make me laugh because they look so fake. So there's no
Mm-hmm.
real movie.
They don't in Arachnophobia. Have you seen Arachnophobia?
Oh, I was scared for spiders for ages.
Yeah,
I think I do, but I'm not sure.
because that has real little, like wolf, actually a little smaller than wolf spider-sized spiders all in that one. And there's that whole scene when they come pouring out of that sink.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's ugh.
See, that might get to me because spiders freak me out. In fact, I wasn't able to sleep in my room for like 2 days until we
Yeah.
killed that one.
Yeah, because you
Yeah,
found that
and then
one.
I walked into my room. There was a moth, and I screamed, thinking it was a spider.
Yeah, I'm arachnophobic as well, and we have big spiders here.
Yep.
We have
They always
some-
have to say, Mom.
Yeah, and then you come in and kill a wolf spider with your bare hand.
Yep.
Ugh.
Yep. If
See-
I don't have anything around me, I take my hand and pop it. Like my palm to the spider and
The only bad
crush it.
thing here is we have brown recluses, which really are dangerous, and I mean not as far as death, but they can put a big hole in your arm.
Yeah.
That's permanently there, so you can really be disfigured by them, and we have them all over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, we kill many of them every year.
Yep. Yep. And we spray, and
Yeah, and
they're
still-
pretty virulent. I mean,
Yeah.
they survive. We might want them with our zombie on our zombie team because they are survivors.
I want to.
Yep. So just look up Missouri wolf spiders and see how big our spiders get.
Or our weird tarantula things. They're kind of orange, and they're huge.
Yep. Yep.
Oh,
we
yeah.
have our own tarantulas here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, gross. Okay, I'm looking at the floor
it's
right now.
See, I say all these things that'd be like horribly and scary and stuff, but then whenever I'm actually like home alone or something, and I'm looking away from the window and I think I see a figure next to the window, I don't go, oh crap, there's someone there. I'm like, I wonder if someone's trying to get in to get directions somewhere, or
Right.
I wonder what they really want.
See, I'm not like, oh, hey, person, they might need my help kind of thing. My heart lurches like, oh, God, because I think I see a figure and my heart lurches. I stare at it to see if it moves. And then while my head is, like, going around, and usually it's when it turns out not to be it, I'm like, man, if it was, it makes me wonder if I would actually want to go just like, hey, what's up? Like this creepy thing, go,
See, I think I'm way too laid back for that, though, because I'm thinking about it and I get myself all freaked out. But then in this situation, half the time, I'm like,
But if it was something obviously not human,
Then I might freak out a little bit, depending on if it looks like it was going to hurt me.
It's like, oh my
Well,
God.
you know, I always say that if you could only think rationally about it, people see ghosts, but the ghosts don't do anything.
Yeah.
If you could think rationally about it, what's it going to do to you? See, nothing. It's just going to just...
And one's overhearing, it's like, I'll show
It's
you.
just going to be there, so...
Paranormal activity
Why...
happened.
Dude,
then
that
why
But he's
is
not a
rough.
ghost, it's a demon.
That was a demon.
Oh, that was a demon. That's right.
I'm sitting here, I'm like,
I would
oh,
say, if
it's
the
such a
ghosts were
horrible
like the
movie.
ones off of Pulse,
Oh.
I mean, they're still freaky, but they
But
want
they didn't
your
do
help.
anything. Yeah.
They're like, hey, we're here, we're human too, kind of thing.
I guess
not-
it's the fear of what you think they might do to
Yeah.
you or something.
Yeah.
I guess.
I don't know, I think they just look freaky, and that's why. Or the fact that they're dead, you
Right.
know.
Why am I seeing dead people?
It's like,
Can I add something to mine really quick?
Sure, of course you can.
THX screen.
Oh yeah.
Or not
Mhm.
THX. IMAX. Sorry,
Yep.
not THX.
Oh yeah, the overpowering
IMAX screen.
IMAX
Yep.
screen, yeah.
Yep, that
As
freaks
soon
you
as we
out.
walked in there, I could not look at it until I sat down, and then I could look at it.
You know, I used to be when I was a kid. I remember the theater being pretty intimidating to me.
See, it's not the theater. It's like, and the OmniMax theater in the Science Center.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can deal with it until I sit down, or I couldn't deal with it till I sit down. And as soon as those speakers start playing,
right.
Yeah.
I have to stare at the ground because I cannot look at those. I
Yeah, me
cannot
too.
look at
Oh,
that. Bothers me just thinking of it.
Yeah.
that's right, because they have that section at the beginning where they introduce all the speakers and they highlight them
It's
with
like, hey,
spotlights.
look, something, and like you'd think that around you, it's almost like it looks like metal. All of a sudden, Don's like, go, no,
Yep.
no.
It'd be really
Yeah.
cool.
And wait 1 second. A major one that would explain my phobia: walking into a hot air balloon. Like when they're like filling it up slowly, and they have you like walk in occasionally, like, oh hey, look at it, it's kind of
right.
cool.
You can watch it expand.
I could not. That is exactly what my phobia is. I cannot do that.
Well, like that one part of the science center that essentially is an inflated building, you can't go into it
Mhm.
because
You didn't
can't.
like that.
We've never been able to go into that section because of your fear.
Now, on a smaller scale, it's not that bad. I mean, like messing with parachutes, you can do the popcorn. You
Yeah.
can go under the parachute, and that doesn't freak you out or anything.
Right.
Okay, it's the size of it. Okay.
apparently I talk and laugh in my sleep too.
Yeah.
You do talk and laugh in your sleep. I've heard
And
you
Court
laugh
was
in your
just-
sleep.
I cry in my sleep, I know that much.
Oh.
Court was cracking up for some odd reason in her sleep, and I'm trying not to laugh because she's just having so much of a fun time about it. So I'm just watching her laugh, and suddenly she sits straight up, looks over at me, and goes, "What?"
No.
Like,
No, that's right. You've told that one.
Freaky.
Well, see, you don't have to worry about Kevin. He's not a sleepwalker. He's a sleep watcher.
Oh.
He comes and sits on the end of your bed
and just
watches.
watches people.
No, I'm not. Then see, at the end of my bed, I mean, yes, I would freak out, but then I could see that it's him. In my doorway, it would just be a shadow.
Well, he can
That
watch
would be
you
much
from
more
the door,
freaky.
too.
You can watch
That'd
it
be much more
If
freaky.
he just stood in the doorway, Court.
Okay, right at the side of my bed was
Yeah.
I turn around,
You
he's
turn
standing
and
there
he's
kind of next to
right
my...
above you.
No, he's kind of standing like right next to my, the chair next to my...
Yeah.
Not
Your
quite
finger.
at the bed, but near it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes you think of Paranormal Activity, where she's just kind of standing there for hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Which, from our point of view, it's not that scary,
But
but
if
from
you're
his
him-
point of view...
Yeah,
Holy crap.
freaky.
If you
Yeah.
woke up to that, I'd be like,
It's like, honey.
I think watching the film from his point of view, seeing that his girlfriend just stared at him for hours on end that night,
Mhm.
I think that
until
alone-
morning.
Yeah, exactly.
That would terrify
She stared
that
at him
would
for like
terrify me.
Yeah.
4 hours.
Yeah, that's freaky.
So what is it about? I mean, is it the fact you can't make things out at night?
Or you're so vulnerable. No,
Or
there
is
you
it-
are.
I mean, is
If
it
I
deeper
could
than that?
see,
Is it-
no, I think you're about right. Because if there's this freaky demon thing, like,
Mhm.
except it was, I don't know, not friendly, but it wouldn't like attack me. It would actually have like that slightly kind of normal conversation, and I could see it.
Right.
I would, instead of freaking out and being like, OMG, 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 I would be like, freak out for a little bit and be like, hello.
Yeah.
Hey, Court.
But if I couldn't see it and it was kind of there, I'd be like, eh.
I can make it so you can't look at any of us the same way until the lights go back on.
Oh God, no. No. You already ruined it.
Don't.
You
Yeah.
already ruined it.
He was like,
Yeah.
oh, don't. Yeah.
You already ruined it.
Yeah, our face is kind of, the definition's gone from our faces.
And your eyes look more sunken in too.
Yeah, our eyes are missing and our mouths are wide open.
And whenever you did your little rah thing, it was perfect. I was like, dude.
Well, Amber, you still have... Okay, you did share spiders. You did.
There's spiders. Paranormal Activity. There's the movie itself didn't scare me, but the concept of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're in the person's place, mainly whenever he's like asleep and she's staring at him for hours on end.
Yeah, we were talking about that at breakfast.
Yeah.
If someone set up a video camera like that in our bedroom, and why wouldn't they?
It's so exciting.
It's so exciting watching us sleep. But if they set it up, if I saw the next morning and if I watched that tape and there was and even if it was you, babe, if you were standing above me staring at me for hours on end, that would totally freak me out.
Well, but what you don't realize is I do that every night.
See, but I don't know about it, so that's okay.
That's probably why you get up in the middle of the night sometimes and can't sleep. It's because I've been staring at you.
Yeah. It's just creepy. That's one of the creepiest scenes in that movie to me. It really is.
I think because it kind of makes it would be really cool. I mean, if people just started setting up cameras to see, it would be really, really freaky if, like, while you're asleep, like, one object in the room moves just a little bit. Like, nothing more than that, just, like, moves a little bit, and then
Stop
that's
it, man. It's the middle of the morning and you're freaking me out, Amber. Stop it.
See? It's like, ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think I'd be able to sleep in that room again. Yeah.
It's like you maybe have like this little pencil case, like you do with your cups, Amber. If maybe it turns a bit or shakes a bit,
Or if it falls over.
or if
Yeah.
it falls over.
It just
Then
randomly
again, fall
falls.
over wouldn't freak me out as much if it moved to the edge of the table. And
Yeah,
stopped.
there you go. It kind of moves. Yeah.
Like somebody that you can't see slid it
Pushed it-
across your desk.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or if, like, a pencil starts rolling across the desk.
But it
and
has to be
stops right on
slightly
the edge.
slow.
Yeah.
And it
just,
has to stop because otherwise rolling across the desk and falling off the desk, you could say, oh, we had a little minor earthquake, you
Yeah,
know?
if it stops
Or wind
before
or
it hits, like, right on the edge of the desk and just stays there, I'd freak out.
Yeah. See, right. Mm-hmm.
Dude,
So it's
the
crawling
thing
towards you.
from
It's like
Silent Hill.
it's called The Room, and it goes and doesn't
Yeah.
even do anything.
There's it hurts you like crazy. But I mean, there's like this girl, and she's walking. It's like your stereotypical hair down in front of her face girl. And you go up and you hit her, and she falls to the ground.
Yeah.
But then the buzzing radio static sound starts, and her body starts slithering across the floor at you.
Yeah.
And it goes everywhere, and she's really, really, really fast. She can go underneath things. I'm like, oh.
So it's the level that's called the room?
No, the game itself is called The Room. Kevin has it.
Okay.
He was playing it, and I'm like, no, not me.
I don't see. Yeah, and now I'm thinking, why the heck am I afraid of these things? But you know, they just do.
Because you are.
I
There's
don't know.
no way.
There's no way to explain it. It's just
You're going down this hallway, and there's a bunch of doors, and there's wheelchairs that are coming down at you and stuff like that, and you're like, oh crap, I'm gonna dodge those. Then you go into this room, and of course the camera angles are what make it scarier. You're walking down this hallway, and it's all facing towards her from the other end of the hallway, so you don't know what's at the end of the hallway. And you get close enough, and suddenly the camera whips around. There's like the entire end of the hallway is a lady's face, and her eyes, like one's bigger than the other, and she's all morphed looking, and she's watching you everywhere you go. I'm like, I couldn't do it.
I mean, it's
was
not
like-
a big, huge lady face, but it's at
No,
the end
it
of the
is.
Oh, it is.
Like the entire end of the hallway is a face,
Oh.
and it's just staring at you, and her mouth's kind of open.
Yeah.
I could not do it. I'm like, Kevin was playing it, so I didn't have to.
okay, babe. So why don't you give us one?
Okay, well, the one that I think is, I have two probably phobias, but the one that really bothers me the most is confined space that I can't get out of, and that is now maybe filling with water. So there's no way I'm going to get out, and so now I know I'm going to drown. And so there's a couple movies, but the movie that really I think we've talked about a little bit before, at least mentioned it, but I think it has a good example of that phobia is The Cell. And it's
Oh,
where,
yeah.
the person's in this fiberglass, the plastic, anyways, the see-through room cube. She's just in a cube, and it starts slowly filling with water.
Right, and it's up to I guess
And
it's
there's
Jennifer
no
Lopez.
getting out. There's no way you can get out. I mean, it's you're stuck. Or like the Superman movie where she's in the boat and the boat's going down, and he's looking at her from above the water, and she's looking at him from under the water, right? And
That's
he
in
finally. It's just that.
in the new Superman, in the latest one, you mean?
Isn't there a
Was there another
scene
one?
where she's I'm
It's with
vaguely
her son
her and her son,
in the boat, and it's
And-
slowly sinking and
and
filling
it's
up
slowly
with water.
sinking, and she's stuck, and it's they can't get that
I think that's
door.
the most recent one.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
Superman Returns, I think.
Yeah, and you can't get that door open, and you know that over time you're just
It's
going
like that scene in Saw where that's the whole point of that scene is because the guy is supposed to drown in that weird glass box, but instead he took out that pen and popped it into his
Oh,
neck
right.
so he had to breathe.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's
that.
right. Or like
Or maybe the scene in Phantom of the Opera.
your robot in court. Say that again.
I was gonna say the scene in Phantom of the Opera, maybe the cagey looking thing above is slowly going down.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, when
Oh,
when
yeah.
he's
I
they
mean,
tell
it's
him-
not really filling up with water, but it's still going down,
but
Yeah.
the top is going down,
and he
so
has
that,
to spin that the wheel in order for it to go up, and it's all rusted, and he's having issues.
yep, that's an exact example, because that scene bothers me too.
Oh,
Yep.
or what about the scene in the abyss when they're stuck out there in that? I think it's like a mini sub. They're in the mini sub or wherever they're in.
Okay.
Don't you remember? And it's leaking behind that panel, and they can't stop it.
Yeah.
And she tells him he's the swimmer. He's the strong swimmer. She allows herself to die,
Yeah.
and him to
See.
drag her back to the moon pool.
Yep.
And that whole scene of that filling up, and he's realizing that he has the air, and he's got to sit there and watch her drown.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
just,
Yep.
It's just
That I
horrible.
would say is my biggest, strongest phobia is being stuck in a confined. That's why I can't do caves.
Right.
That's why you wouldn't be able to watch Sanctum, because there's an entire scene kind of like that.
Yep. I do not.
Actually, that
like-
entire movie is about that.
I'm more freaked by a confined space, like getting stuck in a pipe or something like that, where I can't have any
Like air
movement.
ducts?
I'm not bothered. Yeah, like the air ducts, like the whole air duct scene in Alien, where they're crawling through the air ducts and closing things behind him, and that's
Missed
freaky
call.
to me. Or worse, in Aliens, when Bishop is crawling through that teeny tiny pipe out to the transmitter. Do you remember that? They cut into the pipe and he gets into it, and all he can do is kind of shuffle his arms and legs and barely worm his way forward in this pipe. And I think, no way.
Yeah.
How about this, Dad? Okay, there's a scene in One Missed Call. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's, I guess, near the end of the movie. I don't know, but can't really remember. It's been a while. But she has to go to this air duct. She's crawling through this air duct, and she finds this dead body. It's basically all rotten and corroding and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, the dead body turns toward her and starts screaming and running at her. But it's crawling at her, really, because it's in an air duct that's really, really dense,
Tight.
closed in.
Creepy.
I couldn't
Yeah.
do it.
And then she catches her, and then all the weird body does is talk to her.
Yeah.
There's
or
even,
actually yell at her, but
of all films, in Lady Hawk. Do you remember Lady Hawk? At the beginning of that, when Gaston is getting out of the prison, he crawls down that sewer drain and squeezes his way out into the sewer underneath, and that's how the film opens. He can barely get his arms up in front of his face, and he squeezes out of that. And I think, no, just the thought of that. Just the thought of that. Anyway.
Yep.
So if I focus on your face, it doesn't look as bad, but if I look away, your eyes really stand out.
If I
and
keep
you
my
start-
mouth open,
Oh God, don't do that.
Yeah, that is gross.
I
I can't see her from
Don't
here.
do that.
I don't see her from here.
Because whenever Court, I'm not doing any more Court, I promise.
Yeah.
I am now.
Whenever Court yawned, it had that effect on me. I'm like, huh. Yeah, look at Bear.
I think
She's
I'm
terrifying.
close enough to you. You can't. You
No,
can't
I
see
don't
my
even want to
face.
try. No, actually, I can't.
We would know if
But
something.
Amber's was no goodness. No, especially because I wasn't focusing on it. I was saying that was making it worse,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden,
Oh, that reminds me.
And what's your other one? You said you had another phobia, babe?
Well, the other one is pretty obvious to I am very afraid of heights, and I never used to be. That's just something that's developed as I've gotten older, is the fear of heights. So when we're watching movies where people are standing like on top of buildings looking down, I have to turn away from that scene because it makes me dizzy.
Right.
Yeah, makes me dizzy when there's it's not, like the scene that we just saw the other day, Amber, with House standing on the balcony getting ready to jump. That didn't bother me. But now if we'd had from his view looking
Out.
down,
Onto the pool.
yeah,
Yeah.
that would have bothered me.
So like so a lot of those IMAX shows probably get to you
Yeah.
because they
Yeah,
do that all
actually
the
make
time.
me
They have
get queasy and dizzy and sick to my stomach, and I think that happens to a lot of people because that's why the IMAX movies tell you, to look at the floor, close your eyes.
right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like there's this one movie on the Omnimax theater.
hmm
Yeah, it was all about basically cliff divers.
Yeah.
Ones that
Oh,
climb the cliffs and then jump off the tops
Yeah.
Right.
and then use parachutes and whatnot. But you saw it from their point of view with like head cameras as they
Yeah.
jumped off and looked out, and then they looked up as they released their parachutes.
Yeah.
And the looking up at the parachutes I could handle. The looking down at the ground plummeting towards me, no.
Yeah, you get to watch that for quite a while.
Yeah.
Yep.
hmm Yep.
Freaky stuff.
Because whenever I sleep on the couch and stuff, if I'm
you
awake,
look through the reflection in
If-
the TV.
yeah, if I
window.
look at the TV,
Yep.
Oh yeah.
and it's like whenever everything's pitch black and you can't see the reflection on the TV, I can still see the lights behind the TV, and I always think that I'm gonna see something run back there for some odd
So
reason.
no, seeing something run would scare me. But if I look at the TV, like, and I'm slightly groggy, and I see a person like full faced standing behind me, I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh god. And if you just stare at them, all they are kind of moving because they're breathing, and they aren't doing anything until you turn around to look at them.
Or
I would just
this.
kind of sit there and stare at them, like, oh god.
Well, it's like when I'm down here in the middle of the night and I'm watching a movie. Your face, the whole rest of this room is all behind you, including all the windows.
Oh, I know.
When I turn off that television, then
You
you get the
expect-
reflection of the room. If there was
yeah.
someone, if I saw someone's face
God,
standing behind
yes.
me,
As soon as you turn off the TV,
and they're above me, behind me on the couch.
standing over you,
Oh.
looking
I'd be
down.
done. I'd be like through. No.
That-
No, I
That would
wouldn't
be
even
freaky.
say if they were looking at me. If they were looking at me, it would be really freaky because I'd think, oh god, their eyes are boring in the back of my head. But if they're staring at the TV, looking at the TV at you through
through the
TV,
reflection.
like, oh, you see me now. It's like,
Or
yeah.
you see them sitting next to you on the couch in the TV, but they're not there next to
No, you look at the reflection and they're upside down, like on the ceiling, looking at you through it. That would be
No,
kinda
no,
weird.
I think just sitting next to me would.
Oh.
That would
god.
you. And you look
terrify me.
next to you, and there's of course nothing there.
Yeah.
Right, and then
And you look back and he's gone.
No, if you look back and he's still there, that would freak me out. I'd be like, oh,
No, you
God.
look back and he's closer. He's like leaning against you or something.
No, he's standing up and facing you.
Oh, God.
I'm not sleeping down here tonight.
My alarm is gonna go off on my phone. I'm gonna freak
We may
out
all
like
be
a
in the
little girl.
same room.
I love how whenever you talk about scary stuff, suddenly you're more like freaky about it.
I know, like now I'm being all like.
You have 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
So what's yours?
Mine is one that we have talked about before, but I'll go ahead and mention it again. We've mentioned it like 2 or 3 times over the podcasts, and that is freaky stuff in closets. I just have this irrational fear of closets, and it's not people in the closets. I think it's specifically spirits. There's something about a closet, and it gets to me. It's got to come from my childhood somewhere.
Yeah,
It
it comes
has
from
to.
when Chris locked you in the closet.
Oh, she probably did. I don't remember.
She probably did.
We get along
Sorry,
just fine
Chris.
now.
Yeah.
Well, I say
I
that.
don't know. It could be the fact of just thinking that something could have been locked in your closet and died there, and you had no idea. So
But
its
it's-
spirit might be lingering in there.
Yeah.
But the worst, well, no, actually, both of these are really bad. I have two examples, which we have chatted about before. The first one is in The Sixth Sense. Haley Joel Osment's character,
yeah.
Cole, he's at a party, I think. See, I've only watched that one scene. I've only
'Cause you
watched that
hate
scene
it.
once because I cannot see it again. He's like at that party, and the kids are being mean to him, and they're going to shove him in that closet, and he can hear the spirit in the closet,
Yeah.
like saying, come on, or whatever, saying something to him. He knows there's something in there, and they're shoving him in there and locking him
As a
in
joke,
there.
and he's like, "Oh God, no, don't, no."
Because they don't hear it, but he does.
Oh, and then when they let him out, because I think it's actually even scratched him, hasn't it? Something happened to him while he was in there, and I just think there's no way I would be crazy for the rest of my life. I would just that scene just freaks me out.
Or maybe that one scene in I think it's Mexican, I can't remember the name of it, but it was a Mexican horror one where it's like that, I guess, slightly famous scene of the kid in the like pantry shed looking thing with the door closed, and he's staring at the door, and it zooms out, and there's the spirit thing looking at him from behind. And then the kid turns around, and there he is.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Devil's Backbone?
Yeah, that.
Yeah, Devil's Backbone. Yeah, Spanish film. Yep.
Spanish. Okay.
Yeah, that's Guillermo del Toro, however you say his name. The other freaky one is one that I don't think that I will ever watch again, and it's weird too because it's the American remake, The Grudge. The Grudge is all about a haunted closet.
That's true.
It
Basically.
is. Yeah, it all takes place. Oh well, a vast majority of it takes place in and out of that closet upstairs, and I just no, can't do that. No. So that's mine. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Literally, it's not a monster though. It's literally the spirit in the closet. I can't do it. And I'm sure there are lots of. I mean, there are all kinds of things popping out of closets in movies, but in my case, it's not any sort of creature. It's definitely a spirit.
I think the scariest thing, back on the scary subject, to me, is anything that makes like fast footstep sounds, like running at you kind of sounds, but then isn't there kind of stuff.
The fast footsteps getting nearer.
Yeah, the noise and then getting louder to you and then just stopping and nothing around you, like
And
you
you
can't
don't
see it or
see
anything.
anything around you.
That gets to me, and stuff that shouldn't have a human face that has a human face gets to me.
Yeah.
Okay, here's what would freak the heck out of me. Like, okay, when I get up in the mornings, I turn on our kitchen light. And sadly, I really don't want to, but I end up doing it anyway.
You
I
look
turn
at the
on the
door?
kitchen light and I turn around and I look at the door every day. That's kind of, it's not freaking me out as much anymore. I look down the stairs
Oh God!
into not
Into
the
the
down
dark.
the stairs itself aren't dark, but down here is, and the only thing that lights up is the pool table. If I saw a person there standing there, but not looking at me, and they're walking very, very slowly, and then their face turns toward me and it's kind of misshapen, and all of a sudden, and it comes up the stairs really fast.
Up the stairs.
Or if they start sprinting and running, and I'll be like, oh God, I'd sprint to my room, slam my door, and cry.
Scream.
Any others?
I'm just trying to think of like situations that would freak me out again.
Spiders freak me out. So
Yeah.
I will say, yeah, I agree with your spider one.
I think if I heard footsteps go across my room and saw my door shut, that might freak me out.
Yeah, we talk about a lot of those on that other recording, so we'll
Yeah.
have that covered there too.
How about the weird creatures from Dead Space?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
No? Okay.
I see. Now I thought you were kind of found human faces on nasty crawling creatures and things like that.
Ninja Gaiden or Gaiden?
Yeah,
That
there's a
weird-
monster thing that you fight in that
Fish
game.
thing?
It's like a giant silver snaky fish guy with a face, and that freaks me out.
You could barely fight that guy. I remember.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is it specifically having a human face on something like that?
Like, it's really hard to explain.
It has to have like this almost bald human face.
Yeah, if it's like a human face, like stuff in Bayonetta, I can handle. They have weird human faces on things.
Right.
But like,
It
yeah, I
depends
don't
on how
know.
it's treated.
It was
I
coming
guess.
after you.
Like
in
the
a very
crab
fast
lady.
motion.
The crab lady that moves really fast.
Well, see,
which-
that's just a human in a weird position running around.
Okay.
Distorted stuff is okay too.
Cricket legs, but
I've talked about stuff coming straight at the screen. It makes me jump every single time,
Yeah,
no matter how
that
many,
always
no
gets
matter
me.
how many
no,
times.
that pisses me off.
But
Even-
that's
that
not a
doesn't make
phobia.
me scared. That's just
And it's not even the
the screen.
it's not even the surprise ones. It's like I've said in RoboCop 2. There's that
Oh, yeah.
scene where the robot is coming up the elevator shaft.
Or in Terminator Salvation, where there's that one crawling at
Crawling
him
at
through that plane.
Oh. Really, the whole scene of the Terminator chasing Sarah Connor through the machinery in Terminator. There's that whole part where she's pulling, and he's trying to grab her foot, and she's pulling barely ahead of him, and it's just like you want to just grab her and yank her forward, you know. But that's not so much a phobia, but
Right.
I don't have a fear of Terminators chasing me through machinery.
And like we've talked before, you girls cannot walk down our hallway without turning on the lights
Yeah.
because there's a one part of our hallway that you get to that essentially renders you frozen in fear if you don't
Yeah, it's
have
weird.
the lights on.
Well, that's where the confluence of supernatural energies is. So
I think
I
I
think-
know about my weird face thing now, though.
And yeah.
what now?
Yeah, I think I know about the weird face thing now a little
Okay.
bit more.
Yeah, tell us
Okay,
about
let's
it.
hear it. Go ahead.
If it's like a normal size like person face coming out of a random object, it won't freak me out. I will be fine with it. I will try and have a conversation with it.
Mhm.
But if it's like my entire wall makes like a face and starts talking to me, I might freak out a bit.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's specifically
It's
size.
the
of it?
size of it. If it's like a giant face.
Interesting.
Like the face at the end of the hall in the room. And then the giant face on the ninja game. Yeah, I don't know. It's really weird.
Yeah, faces where
It's-
faces shouldn't be.
It's like
Well, it all
specific.
depends, though. I mean, I can handle some of them.
It's specific situations, though. It depends on what it is.
Yeah.
All right. I think we have plenty.
Definitely
Slap
plenty.
points for that. So, should we move on to feedback?
Yeah.
Let's do that. We have all kinds of stuff to share from, like I say, because of our episode last week on zombie apocalypse teams. This was, our question was, which 4 movie characters or game characters would you want on your team to survive the zombie apocalypse? And we had some good ones last week, but we have actually some more here shared with us on Facebook.
Of course.
Yeah. Let's see here. Russell, of course, he came up with lists that he shared. Here's one from Tammy. Tammy at work. She says Tallahassee, of course, Woody Harrelson's
Yeah,
character
Tallahassee.
from
I
Zombie.
said Tex on accident.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fine. Tallahassee.
Tex. I think everybody would know if you said Tex who he was.
Yep.
Mhm.
Because
She
he's like that
says
cowboy look.
Yeah.
this was a common one. Batman, she says, of course, because everyone says, aha, no superpower.
Yep.
Yep.
So she says Batman because he has all those gadgets, she says, and places to hide. And Xena and Buffy. So Xena, the warrior princess, and
Oh,
Buffy.
Buffy the vampire slayer. Yes, she would want on
yeah,
her
good
team.
ones.
She has
Good
a
ones.
she has a balanced team of men and women.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Russell says, my friend Randy suggests George Bailey from It's a Wonderful Life. It's a Wonderful Death, he screams. I've never seen It's a Wonderful Life. I'm sorry. I'm the last person on the planet who hasn't seen it.
I guess we better put it in our queue.
Let's see. He shares Haas Cartwright. Yeah, okay. Haas Cartwright from Bonanza.
Yeah. Excellent. Good one.
Larry Tate from Bewitched.
Oh, Larry.
Jethro and or Ellie Mae from the Beverly Hillbillies. And last but not least, Meadowlark Lemon from the Harlem Globetrotters.
Oh.
Okay, this guy's really taking it seriously.
That's great. Oh, I like it.
That is good.
Good team.
And then Brian comes back in and he says, okay, Fat Albert as a sacrifice.
Oh, of course.
There you go. Just throw him in and you have all the time. You could just walk. You wouldn't even have to run away. It's going to take him a while to get through Fat Albert.
Do you girls even know Fat Albert?
Yeah.
And Kevin, who's Kevin?
My
Kevin.
Kevy.
Kevin. No, that's
Cough
email.
drop.
No. Kevin. I should play his theme song. He's from South Carolina.
Do it, my Kevy.
Kevin. He is from South Carolina. And from Kevin, insert here, he says Leon Kennedy. Of course, Leon. Ting from On Bak. Yeah.
Oh.
Tony Jaa from Ong Bak. Good choice. Isaac from Dead Space, of course.
Yep.
And Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
He could blow
He's
him,
right.
He
I
could blow
love
him
it
over
so
with his
much.
amazing bass.
Good team.
And he says, Kevin says, you said no superpower and no magic. So does that mean that Isaac gets to wear the suit and have all the awesome weapons? Food for thought. Yes, of course he does.
Sweet.
So yeah, so those were added ones from Facebook. And of course, we have email. Email. Okay, I am jumping for joy.
I can't believe it. Someone sent mail. I am jumping for joy.
Yes, we have email. First of all, from Platinum Rose Lady, also known as Kim. Kim. Oh, Kim Brown from Subject Cinema wrote into us. She says, hey, Eric and the Cavebabble crew. That's you guys.
Yay. Hi, Kim.
She says, hey, that sounds like a Hanna-Barbera cartoon. Eric and the Cavebabble crew. Sorry this is a little late, but going to 2 film festivals in 5 days tends to take it out of one. Man,
Wow.
2
Lucky.
film festivals in 5 days? Oh, well, a film geek's life and all of that, she says. Now, on to the question of the team of 4 that I'd want to be protecting my backside when the ZA, zombie apocalypse, occurs. Number 1, Batman.
Yeah.
Specifically, the Christian Bale version. She says, now I know that you guys said no superheroes, but hear me out. You don't have to, Kim. We know. Batman has no superpowers. You're right, he doesn't. Granted, he's honed his body and has a ton of cool weapons, but no superpowers, so I think it should count.
Yep.
And we agree. James Bond, specifically the Daniel Craig version. Couldn't agree more. Casino Royale is my favorite James Bond movie ever.
And I do have to say, I think he's my
Ever.
favorite James Bond.
I love that movie. I don't know, and there are some decent Bond movies, but I just love that movie. Anyway, calm in every crisis he's up against with a ferocious brutality that could come in very handy, I agree. And I need someone with broad shoulders to hide behind, she said. Yeah, she's a little Twitter-pated with him.
Yeah, thumbs up there.
Yeah. Okay, well, fine. Then I get mine next on her list. Laura Croft.
Yep, there's yours.
She says she'd make the zombies run the other way for sure, unless the zombie is me. She didn't say that. I said that.
Unless the zombie is you.
Beatrix, the bride kiddo from Kill Bill. Have you guys even seen the Kill Bill movies?
I've watched like the end of them
Have you? That's a good.
whenever
yeah.
they're on TV.
Oh, yeah. Why haven't we watched those together? We need to watch those together. Those are great
do.
films. She says she took on the Crazy 88, and I really don't think that a bunch of zombies will be causing her too much drama. So there's my list. Hope you liked. Hugs and kisses, Kim. Thanks, Kim. That's really
Thanks,
cool.
Kim.
And of
Thank
course,
you.
if Kim is going to write in, TC is going to write in. TC Kirka.
Hey, TC.
Subject cinema. I will
From Guns N' Roses?
I will insert here, in all honesty, if you ever listen to Subject Cinema, everyone out there, if you ever listen to that show, you may never listen to anything else again as far as movies are concerned because they research like nobody else. Seriously, if you listen to one of their episodes, they go into so much detail, even in just a single episode. I think, oh, good Lord, even if you have a bunch of things up on your screen, you have to research a lot. And they do. So obviously they love it. I'm not just saying that because we're part of their network.
They do a good job.
I really mean it. They do a great job. I love listening to their show. So go listen to them. Subject Cinema. Hi all, says TC. I'm sorry I haven't had a chance to answer you before now. I'm sorry we missed the actual show, but covering 2 film festivals. Yeah, there you go. Seeing 6 films and 7 shorts in 5 days. Oh, good
Rub it
Lord.
in. Rub it in.
It's quite tiring and lots of fun too, he admits. Be sure to check out our coverage and our reviews on the next few weeks of our long-running podcast, Subject Cinema. Yeah. There's your plug. Soon to hit 300 shows.
Wow. 300.
He says, oh, whoops, sorry. Did I get carried away there? Kim also told me she felt like she went... Oh, I think there's a mix-up there. When she addressed you in her letter that you sounded like an old Hanna-Barbera cartoon. Yeah, we just covered that. Mm-hmm. Could there be a Captain Cavebabble ad in the future?
Oh,
Captain Cavebabble? Oh, I like the way you think, TC. I've decided to take advantage of a loophole in your description for what you wanted. Oh, of course you did.
Uh-oh.
You didn't say fictional when referencing the word characters. And since they've all appeared in direct-to-video movies of sorts, and at least 2 of them have been video game characters, I thought it would be fun to play around with a concept and have come up with 4 of the most outrageously crazy mofos that I think would be a cool zombie defense team spelled with an X. Please note the spelling I've chosen here. I just did, TC. So, without further ado, I present my point men for this scenario. Call them TC's Zombie with an X, Team Extreme.
Cool.
You guys are totally not going to get this.
Okay.
TC is really into extreme sports. So like snowboarding, BMXing, all of that. Skateboarding. Okay. These are all dudes from those games.
Sweet.
First one on his list, Tanner Hall. Yeah, Tanner Hall. Who's that? Hey, girls, who's Tanner Hall?
Some guy.
I will tell you, Tanner is one of the most decorated free skiers around. A 3-time X Games free ski super pipe champion and all-around crazy mofo. His laid-back attitude meshes well with the intense competitor he can be, and those sharpened ski poles he uses on the slope will be one of the best zombie defense weapons ever. Bashing skulls, cutting through body parts, his very own zombie nunchucks, as it were. There you go. Hey, the next guy...
That meets pillar 2 and 3, that he's fast and he's good in close combat if need be.
You remember the pillars?
The pillars of zombie fighting. Yeah,
I know. I don't remember them. I have to listen to it again. You're so prepared, babe. Hey, I know the next dude. Danny Kass.
Not Johnny. Huh?
Not Kass. Kass. A 2-time men's super pipe Olympic silver medalist, Kass. That's why I know him, because he was in the Olympics. Oh. He may be short on stature. He's 5'6". He's even 2 inches shorter than me.
Taller than me.
Yes, I am only 5'8".
Taller than Amber.
We just lost a bunch of listeners because I'm only 5'8".
Oh.
Because they will not listen to short dude, man.
No.
But he's long on ferociousness and lunacy. They don't call him the dirt bag in snowboarding circles for nothing. The dirt bag.
Lunacy, you mean you can see through him?
Yeah, luminacy, yes.
Oh, luminous.
That's what I said. It's all about his luminosity. It's how much he glows. Man, now I lost my spot. Okay. He's fast, has previous zombie with an X experience in his snowboarding video Night of the Living Shred. And he's good with guns, fire, and yes, puppets too. What? I got to see that now. See his Fuel TV series. Well, that's just it. We don't get Fuel TV. Now available on demand and plug, he says. And snowboard with a seriously sharpened edge would be a perfect zombie machete.
Ooh,
And
yep.
you can't have Danny without the dingo. What? The dingo?
Ding. A dog?
Kass's longtime partner in crime and their hit Fuel TV series, The Adventures of Danny and the Dingo. Oh, there you go. I would know that if I had Fuel TV. This long-haired, seriously crazy mofo again from down under would be the howlin' mad Murdoch of our team, not afraid to leap into the zombie hordes and start tearing them limb from limb, blah, blah, with his bare hands if he had to. He's also fast on a snowboard, carries a mean bullhorn. He's a snowboarding announcer by trade. And wielding a metal baseball bat in each hand. Wow, he's gone all out here.
Wow, yeah.
He's going to be shredding through the zombie hordes, breaking limbs, woohoo, and not bothering to take names. I put the woohoo in there.
Oh.
That wasn't TC. He didn't woohoo, although I wouldn't put it past him. Especially if they were between him and his favorite potent... His potent potable, as Jeopardy frequently calls them. Oh, God. Oh, man. Jeez. Okay. The next one I know, too. Travis Pastrana. Okay. If you're going to be safe, you got to have a fast driver, and Pastrana is it. The man who is the X Games equivalent of the thrill of victory, thanks to his incredible double backflip in Moto X in 2006. It's like I'm speaking a different language, isn't it? He's a moto rider, a rally car driver, and host, star, and creator of MTV's insane Nitro Circus, which one look at should tell you why Pastrana is my choice for the point man when it comes to getting our team in, out, and through the zombie hordes, in our way and out roaming the countryside. Jeez, Travie P, oh, isn't afraid to try anything as long as he gets his adrenaline rush out of it. So, of course, I realize that you and most of your listeners probably have no idea who these four are.
But it's awesome. He's introduced us and maybe brought in a new audience, you know.
He talks about X stuff quite a bit on the show. Yeah. If you listen to Subject Cinema, this is nothing new to you. But check them out on YouTube, Wikipedia, or someplace else on your research choosing. Sorry. And you'll come to know why these four have been chosen by the mighty sky gods to be Activate Loud, Cartoon Echo, and Deep Announcer's Voice.
TC Zombie Team Extreme.
Was that good enough? Love ya, babes. Keep up the great babbling. Check ya later. And oh yeah, cheers. TC Kirkham.
Cool. Well, you know, we need to insert here that, you know, Amber is a killer BMX unicycler.
Yeah.
Yeah, a BMX in the Uni-X, not unisex, Uni-X game.
With an X.
Yeah, with an X.
Okay. How I spell zebra.
Spell zebra with an X.
I always spell zebra Xebra.
Because it's extreme zebra. We have one final thing to share, and I might have to come up with a theme for it. Guess what? We have a stalker.
Love you, 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 die.
We do?
Amber's got a stalker? I mean, or we?
I want a stalker.
I think we all have a stalker, but it could be yours specifically, Amber, if you want it to be. And not only do you have a stalker, it is the ultimate stalker, and that is Kolchak. Kolchak the Night Stalker has arrived at our home. After last week's podcast where we chatted about not knowing who Kolchak was, I know who he is, but you guys didn't. Russell, of course, the purveyor of all things righteous.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, our friend Russell, OFR. I have to think of it every time I say it. Our friend Russell,
music here.
of course, he owns everything. That's really cool. And he shared with us the complete Night Stalker series from the 70s. with us. So we have 20 episodes of this go through, and he put a little note on the front and it said, "Did someone say they need a stalker? Oh. Here's one. His name is Kolchak. Enjoy."
Cool.
So thank you, Russell, and we will watch these along with the 50,000 other hours of things that you have let me borrow. So that's really cool. I think that's about it. My
Russell
goodness.
is Amber's idol, isn't he, Amber?
He's awesome.
Yes. He's America's real idol.
He is.
He got a triple for me for my birthday.
Yeah. You know, and we don't even have to say cool things about him because he's not on the network or anything.
Mm-hmm. He just is cool.
No.
And it is true. He gave Amber a triple,
I got a
right?
triple.
A triple for her birthday.
Yeah. And it's been nothing but tribble ever since. Oh, geez. And on that note, if you would like to share anything with us, anything, I usually say meatloaf recipe. What else can I say?
Well, we don't want their
Cookie
dirty
recipe.
socks.
No, we already have a stalker, so sorry, you guys are right out as far as that's concerned.
What recipe, Amber?
Is it a cookie recipe?
Cookies.
Yeah. Share with us
And I'll
your
even make them.
Yeah, share with us your favorite cookie recipe and we will make them and taste them for the first time on
During
air.
the podcast.
Yeah, and let you know what we think.
Just don't bake them with spirits in closets, and I'll be okay. Yeah, you may do so, cavebabble@gmail.com, or head on over to our blog, which is having troubles right about now. So you may head on over to cavebabble.com and check out what's going on the blog. You may follow us on Facebook. We have a Facebook group. Just search for Cavebabble and like us, please. We want to
Stalk
be liked.
me on Facebook.
Yeah, sure. The more the merrier. Why not?
You already have some new people stalking you, don't you?
Yeah, but I don't think they're actually podcast people. I'm waiting to see a message saying, "Hey, I'm your stalker," to which I'll be like, "Okay," and then I'll add you.
I
But
see.
if there's no message, then I'll just assume you're some
Random
weird person.
stalker rather than a podcast stalker.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so that'll about do it. Thanks, everyone. Ooh, hope you had a freaky, spooky time. Ooh, share with us your phobias. We would love to read them next week and laugh at you. No, we
with
wouldn't
them.
do that.
Laugh, shiver in fear with them.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant. Shiver in fear with them. That's what I meant. Okay, so thanks for all the downloads and listens, and until next week, we're out of here.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
It's safe.
It's safe to turn on the lights now?
We've saved electricity for an hour, Bear.
See, you don't know
Well-
it, Dad, but we actually had to get all these lights off because these aliens are coming over us, and any light that they saw, they'd be like,
No, we hadn't taken enough time to misshapen our faces and turn all the warps so we can freak out when the lights go back on.
"Come here,
You'll turn around and I'll be like,
bear."
Well, thank you, family. That was fun.
That was fun.
Now we have it all in.
We have, you can.
We have a recording.
Oh God, no warning or anything.
It could be our next
It
podcast.
reminds me of Florida.
If you have any ghost stories to share with us, cavebabble@gmail.com.
I'm saying all these ghost stories by Cavebabble.
There you go.
Podcasting to the universe from Metro Boston, Massachusetts, USA. We are PNR Networks.